So did I. I was just like, who cares?
What's up, everybody? If you've been listening to the podcast, you know that me and Ricky have been talking about we're going to go live every Sunday. We are here probably just 30, maybe 40 minutes max, just to kind of answer anybody's start or sit questions. We'll probably talk anything else in between while we're waiting on different stuff. Obviously, had a great college football week last week. We're representing Baker Mayfield, who I think is going to win today. 24-21 Browns victory over the Ravens, or the Ratbirds, actually. I don't know why I called them the Ravens. I was trying to be nice, I guess. But what's going on, man? You excited for today?
Man, this is one of those days that we didn't know was going to happen, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The last couple of months has been a struggle understanding whether or not we were going to actually get live football, and we're getting live football today. So I'm very, 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 very excited about that. So
yeah, I cannot wait. What we got? Just about an hour. It cannot get here quick enough.
It's not even remotely close to being quick enough. So I'm super, super stoked about this, and I'm fine. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. So
what do you got? I know you said you've already got one tweet on there. What's the question you've got for us already to kick us off?
I have a question. Oh God.
Oh, I thought you said you had a tweet ready to go. Someone had just tweeted at you a start sit lineup or something like that.
They did. So So question is James Robinson or DeAndre Swift, Brian Edwards or Laviska Shenault. There's two questions. There's two separate questions. So
gotcha. For me, it's Swift easily. I think Swift's going to have a big game this week. I've been all on Swift all offseason. I put out a tweet earlier in the offseason that the Detroit Lions don't use quite the running backfield by committee that people think they do. Usually the lead running back gets 65 to 70% of the carries. Even when Kerryon was a rookie there, LeGarrette Blount and him started carries, but then by week 3, Kerryon had already taken over and done that. I know they brought over Adrian Peterson. I think that's more of insurance for Kerryon Johnson than anything DeAndre Swift. He's already healthy. He's good to go. He's there passing down back. He's the best receiver they have. He's better over Kerryon, better over Adrian Peterson. Now, I do think this is going to be a good game today between them and the Bears. So if I had to start one of those two guys, I'm going Swift, because on the opposite side of Robinson, while a lot of people are high on him, that Indianapolis Colts defense is terrifying up front, adding DeForest Buckner, and then you got Darius Leonard in the linebacking core. And I think the Jags are going to be down most of that game. Give me DeAndre Swift. What about you? Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to go Swift there too for exactly what you said. They're going to be behind. Chris Thompson's probably going to have a big game week 1. Everybody will pick him up, and then he'll just disappoint the rest of the year. You know what I mean? They're going to play from behind a lot that game. So I 1,000% agree with you on that one. And then the other one was Brian Edwards and Laviska Shenault, which is for me. I think it's Edwards easily, because I think with Williams out, I think he's going to be the number 1 guy in Oakland. And Carolina's pass defense is not really that grand. I think there's going to be a lot. I think that game could be a potential shootout too. With Laviska, I think that maybe they get him the ball in a variety of different ways today. But for me personally, I just don't like the idea of. I think Brian Edwards is a safer bet, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. I think I can't remember who. It may have been Ray who sent this up on Twitter, and he's 100% right on this. If you're not starting your Oakland Raiders wide receivers today, then when are you going to start them? Because the Carolina Panthers secondary is the worst secondary in the NFL right now. You know, you've got Edwards, you've got Ruggs, Tyrell Williams out. I think Edwards has a better shot of at least getting you at worst 5 points than Shenault does. I love Shenault, but I just don't know how they're going to use him. I know there's a lot of rumors that they may use him in the backfield. I need to see that before I'm going to believe it. If you're just going to throw him in your lineup thinking he's going to get run in the backfield and then he doesn't, you kind of screwed yourself. So for me, it's Edwards as well. I know we've both been on the same train on this one because we watch so much college football. We both believe Brian Edwards is the best wide receiver in Las Vegas. So I'm going Edwards here too.
Yeah, it's not even really close. I mean, it's nothing against Ruggs, and I think Ruggs is probably a solid start as well today, but definitely between those two, I'm going to go those guys. We got a couple in the Discord, right?
Yeah, so one of the ones in Discord is kind of getting a lot of talk right now, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this because I'm a noted Evans hater. So some people think I'm biased when I talk about Mike Evans. Mike Evans or Christian Kirk today?
See, this one's very hard for me because the thing about it is you start your studs as well as what everybody always says. But for me, Evans, I feel like it's just going to be a decoy today, and I think Kirk has the better opportunity today because I think they're going to try to obviously shut down Hopkins. And, you know, this is the best option outside of Kirk that Kirk has ever had on the other side of the football field. No offense to Fitzgerald, but Hopkins is one of the top 5 receivers in football. And for me, I think I would go Kirk today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, see, I don't think Kirk's going to do anything. I really don't. I think it's not great. And I asked him in the chat, and I feel like he got somewhat offended. I wasn't trying to be. I was like, "Did you not have anybody else?" Because my thing with Evans is, I guess if you want to lean Kirk because he probably has a little bit more upside, I'm cool with it. My thing with Evans is, in the last 6 matchups he's gone against Lattimore, he has done absolutely nothing. There's one game that he's gone, I think it was 60 yards on 4 catches and a touchdown, so he barely broke you double-digit points in that one.
Yeah.
I know last year because I don't draft
Lattimore
him.
Be on Godwin, though, I guess the question would be?
No. If Evans plays, I think Lattimore be on because Godwin goes in the slot, and I don't think Lattimore never travels to the slot. So Godwin will mostly be in the slot. He'll be fine. Lattimore on Evans, like last year, I drafted Evans for the first time ever, and I was like, you know what, whatever. Let's see. He'll prove me wrong. And then both matchups last year, I believe he got 2 points and then shut out in the other one against Lattimore. Lattimore is just he has his number, and there's all wide receivers like that. Unfortunately, today, Odell Beckham and Marlon Humphreys. Humphreys shuts down Beckham. Everybody has that one cornerback, and Lattimore is it for Evans. So I still probably would go Evans. You drafted him as your number 1 or number 2 wide receiver for a reason, and he does have that upside. If he does get that game again where he goes 60 yards and a touchdown, okay, yeah, it's not what exactly you wanted. You probably wanted more, but that's going to be, in my opinion, more than Kirk's going to give you. My biggest fear with Kirk, I love Kyler Murray. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's got the most fierce defensive line coming after him today with a good linebacking core and a good secondary. And he's going to be running for his life all day and throwing the ball. And I think it's going to end up going to Hopkins or Fitzgerald more than Kirk. And you got Ward on one side, Sherman on the other. I don't see Kirk thrives in the slot. I don't see him being in the slot. He's going to be on the outside, which means he's matching up with Ward or Sherman. And I don't think he's good enough to beat them. So that's kind of
out there.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I lean Evans, even though I don't want to. For Matt, is the best QB you would start Baker over today? Wait, who is the best QB you would start over Baker today? I only have Baker at like 15 today, boss. I'm not I think it's going to be a tough matchup for him. That Ravens defense scares the living shit out of me, if I'm being honest.
Dude, and they only got better this offseason.
I know. Like We did our weekend preview show on Friday, and so I was looking at all the defenses, and Baltimore's defense last year was 32nd against the run, 32nd against the pass. Or no, I'm sorry, they were 30th against the run, 31st against the pass, and they were 32nd against the QB, meaning they were the best defense pretty much against everybody last year.
It's absurd.
Then they added Calais Campbell at the defensive line against a Browns offensive line that is beat up. I mean, Jedrick Wills, brand new rookie, has had no real game reps. You got JC Treader, who they're saying is going to play, but he just had a knee surgery about 6 weeks ago. So I love Baker. I think this is going to be a run-heavy game for them, which is how they beat the Ravens last year in week 4. They kept relying on Chubb, and then Chubb broke those 3 big ones and kind of iced the game. I think that's what they're going to try and do today. So I've got him at 15. I'm not expecting – I still love him. He's my guy. I will ride and die with Baker every day of the week, but I've only got him at 15 this week. I don't expect a big week out of him.
Yeah, it's me as well. I think I'm looking at my rankings. I had him at 17. There's just way too many options right now this week that have the chance of really kind of shooting up the board. A couple things that I wanted to touch on. Obviously, the big news of Miles Sanders being out. Are you starting Boston Scott today?
If you am in a flex spot. I do not think he's going to be an RB1 or 2. I know a lot of people are really high on what he did at the end of last year. But I don't think he's that good of a runner. I think he's more of a receiving back. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't see this being a very close game for Philly, Washington. I think they're going to run the ball, and I don't see Boston Scott getting a lot of that. I think they're going to split the time between Scott and Clement. So, I mean, if you've got Scott, if you backed him up, or if you backed up Sanders with Scott or something like that, I would do it. But I'm not big on him. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, if you're forced to start him because you have Sanders, then obviously. But I think really for me, with him out and then Jeffrey out, I think this boosts Goddard, right? I think Goddard is the guy for me that really takes the boost this week. And I really like starting both the Eagles tight ends this week because of, with Alshon out and Boston out, I think Wentz is going to, I think they might throw some quick passes. I like Jalen Reagor today as well. I think like a 2 weeks ago, I thought he wasn't even going to play for the whole entire month of September, which is crazy. But tackling the question below, Ingram or Marvin Jones. Wow, that is a.
I don't know if you can comment back here, Boz. I'm assuming this is a flex spot. Who are your other two running backs right now? Because I'd probably go Jones. I like Marvin Jones. I have him as a top. I'm trying to pull up my rankings really quick. I think I have him as I have him a top 16 play this week once Golladay went out. I mean, I like Marvin Jones in general. He always finishes as a wide receiver 2 at the end of the year. With Golladay out, I do think this is going to be a high-flying game. I am all in on the Bears-Lions game today. I've got Mitch really high. I've got Allen Robinson really high. Like I think I have Allen Robinson at 2 this week.
Okuda is literally not playing today, so Allen Robinson's going to destroy today.
Josh Jacobs only require one back. Okay, yeah, I'm going. I'm going Josh Jacobs there, and I don't really like Josh Jacobs. Oh man,
Josh Jacobs going to run for a hundo. I mean, he's gonna destroy Carolina today.
Mark
man.
Ingram, or Marvin Jones. I think he's a little bit above average back. When I say I don't like people think I hate him. He's a good back.
Well,
he's
no,
a top
I know
14
that.
Back. Yeah,
people need to differentiate that we're talking about fantasy football, not real life football.
I mean, I don't hate any. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a handful of people I truly hate, but
all Baltimore Ravens fans.
No, I love Baltimore.
Man, I'm going Marvin Jones.
I think I'm going to go Marvin Jones as well. I think Ingram has a good game today, but. Fuck, now I really actually want to go Mark Ingram, if I'm being honest, because that linebacking core you could throw me out there at linebacker today for the Browns and probably be an improvement. No, I love Dobbins. I don't think he's going to do anything. Will the real Baker stand up? He's behind us in the background, flashing right here for you. Here you go, Dennis. Oh, wait, I can't take us off screen. Hang on. That's the real Baker Mayfield for you right there, buddy. That's the real Baker Mayfield.
You're welcome.
No, I'm not worried about Dobbins at all, to be honest with you. I know Gus Edwards got some run last year, and I do think it's going to start out.
I don't think Dobbins is really a start this week. I mean, unless it's a blowout, then I think Dobbins sees the field. I just meant in general, you're not concerned with the workload for Ingram because Dobbins is obviously light years better than Edwards ever was. So.
Yeah, I think at worst, I've been all in on the train that this was going to be Mark Ingram's last year with the Ravens before they drafted Dobbins because they can get out of his contract and he is getting old. Now, granted, he hasn't had quite the carries on his legs that others had because of all that time he split in New Orleans with who did they have before Kamara? There was somebody else that he used to split time with. Now I can't remember who was.
He went to
Shit, who was it? Was it Jarek? Was it not Jerick McKinnon? Who was it that was there? I don't remember. But they split time together in New Orleans before Kamara even came in there as well. I'm not you're damn right. It's Edwards. Yeah, it is Edwards, Dennis. We agree with you. Right now, it is Edwards. But yeah, I think Dobbins at worst, he gets, he'll get some run here and there, but I think they're going to lean heavily on Ingram unless, like you said, it's a blowout. That's when I think Dobbins will get his run, which is possible. They blew out a lot of teams last year. They didn't get any worse. So I imagine they're still going to be a really good team this year as well. So, all right, let's see. I know there was another one in there that just popped up on Discord. Where was it? I'm like exiting in and out of everything here.
I did see David Montgomery's expected to get a full workload today, so that's good for him.
I've been all in on moving him back up in my ranks as well. So Kyler Murray or Cam Newton, with all the talk about us thinking Kyler Murray's playing the worst or the best defensive front in the league right now. Who out of those two would you take?
I'm starting Cam Newton this week.
Oh, that's right. You're a big Patriots fan, aren't you?
I'm not a big Patriots fan. I am a Tom Brady fan. But I feel like week one we're gonna see Newton. I think it's close. I mean, I don't hate either or, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I just really see Cam Newton having a big week this week. I think he's gonna at least have 3 touchdowns this week, and that to me, that 49. Like I don't know what to feel about the Cardinals until I see them kind of in.
We did, Dennis. Right? They send me free Dr. Pepper. I didn't let them know that we were all a group here. It's just
sorry. Starbucks is what sponsors me. This is the mango dragon fruit lemonade, which is like heaven. But for me, well, normally right now it'd be the pumpkin cold brew, but it is what it is right now. So,
all right. So is Swift still a good player to have with Carry-On and now AP? Yes. We were just talking about Swift earlier. I almost want to say by week 5 or week 6, I think Swift is going to be getting a bulk of the carries. DeAndre Swift, in my opinion, even with as good as Taylor and Dobbins were, I still had Swift as my number one running back coming out of college last year because of what he could do in the receiving game and running the ball. I don't think going to Detroit should hurt him. I'm not someone who thinks landing spot should change draft stock that much. It's why I didn't change that much on Edwards-Helaire. Now, I might have ended up eating my words a little bit on that after what he did Thursday night, but it is only week 1, so I'm going to hold back. I want to see how everybody plays today because obviously, we've got Jonathan Taylor, Dobbins. I don't think Dobbins is going to play much this year, but I do think Taylor and Swift are going to get a lot of run this season. So let's see what they do. But yeah, I would not bail on Swift just because they have AP and carry on. They may vulture some of his touchdowns in the end, but I still think Swift will get you a fair amount of points.
God, AP being there just was the most annoying thing ever, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it really was.
It's like, why? You know what I mean? I like Swift long term, obviously. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, let's calm down a little bit, guys. It's like the first action we've seen all year, and that's the thing I'm excited about as well, is seeing what the likelihood of how much we're going to see overreaction after week 1. I'm expecting a lot of points to be scored today. I really, really am.
I'm kind of torn on that. We were actually talking about that on Friday. I think we might see a lot more closer games, or I don't think we're going to see a lot of blowouts. I just think everybody's you didn't see a lot of practice, hitting in practice. Like we saw it yesterday with college games as well, how much that really affected tackling and everything. So I'm I'm torn on that one. I don't know. I hope we see a lot of good games today, but I would think most of them are going to be, I think, lower scoring games, defensive games.
Yeah, I feel that. Let's see here. Non-PPR, Kareem Hunt or Jordan Howard?
Ooh. Jordan Howard. I think that game's going to be close today. I actually have Miami winning that game. So I think if they're in a close game or winning, Jordan Howard's going to be your guy. And I do think that it will be a close game today. Brian Flores added all those defensive pieces this year in the offseason. I think they're going to go in there. Cam Newton does throw a wrinkle into it. He's a lot better than Jared Stidham, obviously, but I think Jordan Howard is the guy there. I like Kareem Hunt, but I don't see him getting a lot of run today. I think it's going to be mostly Chubb.
Yeah, I completely agree there as well. I think that even the only way Hunt is really superly involved is obviously if they get behind pretty badly. And I just, like you said, I expect closer games. I just expect them to kind of have at the same time. I expect to see a lot of high scoring close games as well. I got another one here: Lamb or Edwards. What's a good one?
Lamb. I think that's kind of easy for me.
Really?
So here's my thing. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you go first. I'll give you mine.
No, you're fine. I was just saying it easily was a little bit surprising. It's a toss up for me, but I feel like Edwards is the number 1 guy when Lamb is really the 4th option.
Well, I think he's the 3rd option. So here's the thing. I agree with you that Edwards is the 1, but I don't think that Oakland views him that way just yet. I mean, we saw them take Ruggs at 11 for a reason. That's who Gruden wants to be their guy. He's come out and said he plans on him being their Tyreek Hill, right? So They clearly love Ruggs. I think he's going to be the guy. We've seen Derek Carr can get the ball down the field. We talked about, I think, a little bit on our rookie episode where we did the props, the over-under stuff.
Yeah.
Derek Carr was having an MVP season and loved getting the ball deep. So I do think they're going to use that. Why I'm all in on CeeDee Lamb is I don't think the Rams defense is particularly good. I think it's going to be a shootout tonight in LA. You've got Amari Cooper going up against Jalen Ramsey, who's same thing with Mike Evans. Last year, when those two played each other, Ramsey just moved over to the LA, so he didn't know defensive schemes or anything. I think he had literally just gotten traded that week. Shut Amari Cooper down, 1 catch for 19 yards. That's my biggest complaint about Amari Cooper and why people get so in their feelings and jump in my mentions when I trash Amari Cooper. He is not good against good cornerbacks. He struggles, and I get it. Not every wide receiver is, but when he goes up against those guys and he doesn't get that ball early, he checks out. Think about it this way. I live here in Texas. I listen to Cowboys fans all the time. They all love Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is supposed to be your 1 and your best wide receiver. The coaching staff benched him in the entire second half of the Eagles game last year, week 17, where they needed to win to get into the playoffs. How is that the leader and a star on your team if you're benching him because he can't get his head in the game? That's not good for me. So he's going up against Ramsey today. I expect Ramsey to shut him down. That leaves Gallup and Lamb, and I think Lamb gets the better matchup, whether they put him on the outside or in the slot. So I think he has a big game today. I think he's going to get you a touchdown and over 100 yards. That's how much I'm in on Lamb today.
I like it.
So I would do it. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I leaned Edwards. I think that he's just going to have the more volume there. I just think that for me, I understand what you're saying about Cooper because I'm not as high on Cooper. I thought that his contract was a monstrosity of just even giving him that kind of money. He's not a top 10 receiver in my opinion either, but I feel like he, to me, is the third most talented receiver in that core. But I just feel like right now with Zeke, with Cooper, with Gallup, I mean, obviously Lamb is a better talent than all those guys. In receiving wise, but for me, I don't know. I lean Edwards, but I don't hate Lamb there. You know what I mean? I just think it was a little bit closer than I thought. Figured you enjoy this one. Jonathan Taylor or Antonio Gibson?
Jonathan Taylor. Smash Jonathan Taylor. Smash it. I mean, I get it. I get the question because Antonio Gibson, I don't know if he's listed as the starter, but he's probably the perceived starter for them.
Yeah.
My thing is, I do think it's going to be at worst a 60-40 split between Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor. The Jaguars defense is the worst defense against the run, guys. That
game's going to be over at halftime.
Yeah, they were the worst defense against the run last year. And again, they lost Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell. And they brought in Javion Kinlaw, who I like. Yeah, don't see him plugging up both of those holes. So, yeah, for me, it's Taylor easily because, again, in my opinion, the best offensive line in the game with the Indianapolis Colts. And I think even if Taylor's getting 40% workload, we've seen what he can do when he's given a hole in college. I think the same thing's going to happen here in the NFL. Same thing. I'm expecting a big game. I saw one on Twitter. It wasn't popping up on the screen though. I was trying to see if it'd pop up in the comments, but Jonathan Taylor and let me see what it was. Preston Williams I'm assuming your flex spot. What would you do with that one?
Was it John? Who was it? Jonathan Taylor?
Well, he said Taylor or Preston Williams. I'm assuming he's talking Jonathan Taylor. I assume he's not talking Tywan Taylor. So I'm assuming flex spot roll with that one. So,
ooh, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna go Taylor there. For me, I don't like. I get the Preston Williams love. I love Devontae Parker. I'm a closet Devontae Parker guy. But the thing about it is, the thing that might make Williams work today is obviously we have Parker going to line up with Gilmore. You know what I mean? I wouldn't start Parker this week if somebody paid me to, because I just don't feel like he can do anything on Gilmore. I don't think he's that good. I like Parker, but I don't like him that much. You know what I mean? But for me, I think Taylor's going to I think Taylor has 50, 60 and a touchdown easily today. Easily. You know what I mean? I think that's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think it's easy for me too, because while I do agree, obviously Parker's going to get the Gilmore matchup. Their secondary is still really damn good opposite of Gilmore. I can't remember who it is, but he'll be on Preston Williams. I understand that defense lost a lot of pieces, but Bill Belichick is arguably, if not the best defensive mind in the game. He'll figure it out. I'm not expecting any kind of shootout today. I think it's going to be a close game. So give me Taylor because of the upside. Let's see here.
Exactly. And that to me is, and I think Taylor's just going to have one of those runs today that we're going to be like, that's Jonathan Taylor for you.
And that's you're going to hear all of us Monday morning quarterbacking and talking about why the hell is he not the starter yet? That's what's going to happen.
Why did he only had 6 touches whenever Marlon Mack had 22, you know?
So those of you who are watching, I got a bunch of people watching on Twitch. If you guys have any questions, post questions. We're more than willing to answer
Dak
here.
Prescott predictions. I like that.
Dak Prescott predictions.
I think he throws over 404 touchdowns today.
I don't know about 400, but I will give you this. I have him as, and this is, I don't know how often you watch me. Noted Dak Prescott hater right here. I have him as QB1 this week. I mean, Mahomes was there, but we take our Thursday night players out.
Absolutely.
I think Dak Prescott's going to have a huge game. We just talked about it earlier. I'm expecting a shootout tonight in Los Angeles. I think Goff's going to go for over 350 and 3 touchdowns. I think Dak's going to be right there with him. I just, that defensive front is so scary that I don't know if they're going to be able to run Zeke a lot. So I think it's going to rely on Dak. And like I said, if you've got Lamb too, I'd fire that duo up, because I think Lamb's going to have a big game as well. All right, another one
for you is: do you like Van Jefferson in the flex today at all?
I do not. I think it's going to be mostly Woods and Kupp, and I'm big on Higbee. I have Higbee as my tight end 3 this week. We saw him kind of show out last year. I think it's going to be mostly those 3. I like the Van Jefferson talk, and obviously if you've seen some of the videos they were posting about what he was doing in camp, that's awesome. I'm not buying that much into any camp hype right now, because it's just not the same. They can't hit these guys. They can put their hands on them, but it's not the same as getting hit and all that stuff. I need to see Van Jefferson in live games do it before I'm going to buy all in. So he's one of those rookies that I'm not starting today. Lamb, I think Edwards too. I did say I would start Edwards based on a thing, but Van Jefferson's a guy, unless you're in like starting 6-7 flex spots, I wouldn't do it.
Gotcha.
What about Zach Moss, Jordan Howard, or Matt Breida? And that's the one thing I hate about this Dolphins backfield is you're always going to be debating between those two, and Howard and Breida, I feel like every single week.
I've been high on Moss this week, man. I don't know what it is. I think I don't like Singletary. Singletary.
See, I like Singletary, but I've got Moss. I've got both of them high. I got them right next to each other. The one thing that scares me with Moss is I think you're almost relying on him scoring a touchdown to get you most of your points. And Josh Allen is also I hate to put it this way, but is also like their goal line back as well with the way he runs it. And I know he said he doesn't want to, but that doesn't mean that he won't. So I'm kind of. I'd probably just go Howard here. I don't think that they're going to get Matt Breida. I think it's going to be a close game. Breida's going to get some run, but I think if they get down to the goal line, it's going to be Jordan Howard. So I think I hate saying shit like this because it's going to end up not working. But I would say you've got probably like a 70 to 80% shot of a touchdown with Howard today, and that saves you for an RB2 right there. So I would go Howard.
I'm going Howard as well. For me, it's. I think that to me is easy. I think that's an easy decision. You're banking on Moss being, you're banking on a blowout. Obviously, for one, I think Moss sees more of the field if it's a blowout, and then Breida. Howard's the guy. I think. And it's really
I'm right there with you. Yeah. For me, it's Howard. I like Breida, but my biggest fear with him, too, is he can't stay healthy. And I do think they brought him in to be more of a receiving back, although Howard is a much better receiver than people give him credit for. So, but I think Breida is better. So I think that's what they brought him in. Let's see. What about Judy or OBJ? They said they're already starting Nick Chubb and Austin Hooper. This is one of my burner accounts, just so you guys know. All the Browns starting now. I'm not a big Hooper guy, but he said he's worried because of the tough matchup with OBJ and Cortland Sutton probably being out. As much as this might sound like Browns homerism, I'm going Odell. Again, same thing as I said about Evans earlier. You drafted him to be one of your best wide receivers. Give him the shot to be one of your best. I know it's not a great game plan. I know it's not a great matchup for him this week, but he's also not going to be running 9 routes every single time like he was with Freddie Kitchens last year. Let's see what this new offensive has. I like Judy. I don't expect him to be maybe a low end 2 upside this week. I don't see it. But what about
Who are they going to throw the ball to this week?
Noah Fant. If they throw the ball that much, I like Drew Lock, but Tennessee's defense. Tennessee seems to be getting extremely underrated this year. They have one of the best defenses in the game.
I think it's just because they have a terrible quarterback. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, I agree. Well, I don't think he's terrible. He's a middle tier quarterback when he's healthy.
Awful. He's awful.
He's all right.
Ryan Tannehill is trash.
I don't know about trash. That's a little rough.
It was a little rough, but I do think that he's trash. But for me personally, I am definitely, as much as I love Judy, and I do think Judy's going to have a good week this week. And I do think if you have another tight end, slide somebody else in there. I don't think Hooper's the guy. But for me, definitely Judy.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I still got to go Odell because of the upside.
And I think that he is one of the best receivers in the league, and
you froze up on us, Ricky. So while we're seeing if we can get Ricky back here really quick, I got another one. Let's see here. Marvin Jones or Terry McLaurin. I'm still going McLaurin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. You're back now. Yeah. You kind of like you just froze up there for a second, so you're still kind of frozen on my screen.
I made a funny joke that I didn't even realize. I said people like shitting on OBJ, and I literally didn't mean to put the pun. I didn't put the pun together until afterwards, so it's okay.
I don't believe that. You see that chick? I hate to be this guy, but did you see her? I feel like Odell could do better, but
absolutely.
Marvin Jones or Terry McLaurin, considering that Galladay is already out. I'll let you take this one first.
McLaurin for me.
Yeah, same. It's not even close.
I don't think it's not even a battle. I love Marvin Jones, but we're talking about a top 10 receiver this week of play. The Eagles' defense is not. It's good.
Well, they got Darius Slay now, so that does worry me a little bit. He did. what was it that he did last year in the matchup they had last year? Golly, I wish I could remember. I think it was like 60 yards on 6 catches or something like that, and a touchdown too. I don't remember. The one thing I did like was Darius Slay came out afterwards and said that Terry McLaurin was the hardest wide receiver to cover next to Keenan Allen, which is high praise from a guy like Darius Slay. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the game. But I'm with you. For me, it's still easily McLaurin. He's going to be he's the only guy that Haskins really has to throw the ball to. I mean, I like Steven Sims, but it's all McLaurin. So
AGG, baby. He's going to have a touchdown.
Well,
today.
He might have a touchdown, but
I'm not saying he has any
guy.
fantasy value at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying AGG is going to have a touchdown today, baby. He's going to pull out the Rubik's Cube and solve it, right, for his touchdown dance.
Hey, I'm all for it. I like AGG as well. Got him in like the 5th round of my rookie draft. Back when we were doing all our rookie drafts. So I was the one that I got Bryan Edwards in the 4th and then AGG in the 5th. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was so happy. People like
Bryan Edwards sucked. Everybody thought he sucked, and now everybody.
Oh, I know. I was all in on him. He was
no. I'm just talking about there was so many people complaining about how he's terrible. There's a question in there. Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, never mind. Dontrell Inman says different. Does Dontrell Inman even play anymore? I don't even know. Hunter Henry or Tyler Higbee, tight ends beyond Kelsey. Higbee for me. I've got him. I've got him top 3, I think, this week. I still like Hunter Henry. I think he's going to be top 6, but I am all in on Tyler Higbee this week, and I think the season too. I think I'm not that worried about Gerald Everett whatsoever. So that is that for me. Yeah, exactly. I don't even think he'll be on the Rams much longer. Let's see here. Well, I guess if we're waiting we'll give this a couple more minutes. I know Ricky's got to set his DFS lineups. I got to double check my 50 lineups because I know I still probably have Cortland Sutton in some of them. So I gotta make sure to get that out of there. What'd you think? Any big performances from yesterday stand out to you?
I know it's gonna sound over cheesy, but I really liked the way Lawrence looked yesterday. I think about Chris last year, he came out very sloppy. A little bit faster, a little bit smoother. Obviously, when you're trying to be, everybody knows he's QB1 and that he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft easily. But that is an improvement. You know what I mean? Showing that the little things that we knock him for, or everybody knocked, delivery came out a little bit better. Was very impressed with him. Terry's performance yesterday, that drop on that, and he does have the case of the dropsies. You know what I mean? It is frustrating to watch. Have the talent, and for me, that was at the same time, let's calm down a little bit. Now we are playing Missouri State on some of these. We got a question.
I'll let you answer this one. You're the Brady guy, so
there's a lot of guys I would start over Tom Brady this week. But I think Brady has an opportunity of having a game that he's got a chip on his shoulder. Bucks are going to win today. I'm calling that. I've been calling it all week. I do think they're going to win today. It's not that I'm not a Saints guy. I just think that he's going to play the chip on the shoulder. But again, at the same time, there's probably 15 quarterbacks I'd probably start over just to be safe over Tom Brady this week. I don't know. I'm a little scared of what Brady does. But as a real NFL player, I like the Bucks today.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Brady at 11 this week. I think he's still got a good shot. It is a scary matchup for them. Obviously, the Saints have a very good defense, kind of underrated, I think, in my opinion. Both of them do. Tampa Bay's defense is really good as well. But both of these quarterbacks in this one are smart enough to know where their hot reads are and get the ball out before they get sacked. So I think that's kind of why I think it could be a really good game. I'm not quite on the Bucks winning train. I still think the Saints pull this one off, but I think both have good games. I have Breeze up at 5 and Brady at 11, so I'm expecting both of them to be top 12 plays. Taylor or Swift? Ooh.
Taylor.
Yeah, I'd probably still go Taylor. I think Swift's going to get more run, but I hate to go either side of the fence here. I don't think you're wrong starting either one, but I'd probably lean Taylor slightly because I think he's got the big play ability against the worst defense. Bears defense against the run still pretty good. Jags is not. So I would lean Taylor. What do you think the Saints were going to pick up? Oh yeah, I saw that today. Did you see that?
there was a rumor that the Saints were going to go after Brady.
They were already going after him. It was back when Breeze got offered that contract, I think, to go to NBC or something like that, and they offered him a ton of money, and there was a lot of talk that he might just retire and go do that. So Sean Payton and Brady had already talked about him joining the Saints if Breeze moved on, but then Breeze came back.
How awesome would that have been? Oh my!
It'd have been great. I think Tampa Bay's still a great landing spot for him. So yeah,
people forget that the Bucs were a game or two from being 9-10 win team last year. They were 7-9 last year, but they lost like 4 games because they had a guy that threw 90. 90
it wasn't even 4 games. Their average, what is it? Points against or points for ratio was 6 points, so it wasn't even a touchdown. That's how close all their games were. They were not getting blown out. And again, as you said, you had a guy who threw 30 interceptions last year. I mean,
yeah, and he had 10 fumbles too. He had 10 fumbles too. So it's like if you cut that in half, that team wins 10, 11 games easily last year, and they've improved. You know what I mean? They have 2 of the best receivers in football too. So and they have the GOAT. So
and they've got one of the best running backs in the league. He's just playing third fiddle right now in Keyshawn Vaughn, but that'll change here eventually.
Oh, I forgot you're a Vaughn guy too. Everybody,
I am. I do like Vaughn. I do.
It blows.
I mean, he's not like a Taylor. He's not up there with Taylor Swift and Dobbins, but I still think he's better than Ronald Jones. And I mean, I would argue.
If you guys have any questions, I made this point yesterday. The Vanderbilt had one of the 80th out of 130th ranked offensive line last year. If you hear that, now go look at his stats and go look at what he did last year, and then tell me that Vaughn's not good, please. And he did it against SEC teams. And he tore LSU's ass last year.
It's not even just that, too. So you use those 2 factors and then add the third in. Vanderbilt had literally nobody else on offense that was worth a damn. Every defense knew coming in, hey, we got to stop this guy, and they still couldn't do it. Keyshawn Vaughn is a very good player. I do think that he's going to, if you got him in your drafts or if he's on your waiver wire, pick him up in like the next week or 2, because I do think by like week 6 or 7, he's going to be the guy. He could be one of those guys that's a league winner for you, because I like Fournette, and Fournette's going to get some run, but Vaughn can do everything. And I don't think Fournette's quite as good a pass catcher. He was kind of forced into that role last year with the Jags because of everything going on with all their injuries. So I'm not seeing many other questions coming in here. So good. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to do this every Sunday. Might try and go on a little bit earlier. I did not realize I was running this today, full transparency. So I was playing Madden, got a little bit in here late. So we'll get that fixed up though. We'll be here, me, Ricky, every Sunday. Might have some of the other guys from the crew drop in here and there when they can. And we'll be talking start sits with you guys every week. Outside of that, good luck to everybody in your fantasy matchups this week.
I hope you win against anybody but me. So yeah,
exactly. If you're playing against me in any of my 50 leagues, I hope your team completely shits the bed. Outside of that, I hope fantasy gods, shine ever so brightly.
Exactly. I got Matthew Fox to destroy him.
Oh well, there you go. I hope. Well, I like Matt, and Matt will listen to this. I know he will. So may the best team win. I'll say it that way. I'll try to be nice and political right down the line. But everybody,
hope we tie.
Enjoy your Sundays. We'll talk to you guys again next week.
See you guys.